Illegal wildlife trade harms biodiversity around the world. It threatens all kinds of species, from elephants to orchids. It also harms some of our closest living relatives, like orangutans. Meet Pongo. Pongo is a 5-year-old male Sumatran orangutan from the forests of Indonesia. He was illegally taken from the wild. Animals like Pongo are often captured and illegally kept as pets or in zoos around the world. Governments and conservation groups work exceptionally hard to protect threatened species like orangutans from illegal trade. But it is hard to catch the kingpins that often drive this illegal trade. And even when they are caught, they usually face only small fines and possibly short prison terms. These do little to remedy the huge harm caused by the illegal wildlife trade. It's important that when people harm the environment, they should be held responsible for fixing it. And illegal trade causes many forms of harm, to species survival, to human culture and well-being, to government budget, to science, and to the livelihoods of people that depend on wildlife. And as we saw with the COVID-19 pandemic, illegal wildlife trade can also harm public health. So much harm and so little action. In Pongo's case, the harm caused by trading just this one animal is actually far greater than you might first expect. There are only about 14,000 Sumatran orangutans left in the wild. When populations get this small, every last animal counts. Taking just one animal, like Pongo, away has huge implications for the survival of his entire species. With Pongo missing from the wild, conservationists now have to work even harder to help the remaining orangutan population to recover. Reforestation, improved patrolling, animal translocations. These are all actions that may now be needed to help protect the species. Orangutans are also important to humans. We need and value biodiversity and care about animal welfare. The harm committed against Pongo affects people all over Indonesia and even around the world. There are other costs too. If Pongo gets rescued, he'll need care and rehabilitation. Eventually, he may even be released into a population with other rescued orangutans. But this care, shelter, food, research are extremely expensive. Who is responsible for remedying this harm? Can't the law do something to make things right? When an oil spill pollutes the ocean, lawsuits are sometimes used to force the responsible parties to clean up the mess and remedy the harm they caused. Why don't we do the same thing for illegal wildlife trade? Why can't we hold the perpetrators, particularly high-level criminals, financiers, organized criminal groups responsible for the huge harms they cause? On paper, in many countries, we already can. We're just not doing it yet. In Pongo's case, a lawsuit could demand that the masterminds behind his trade be held responsible. A court could order them to provide a range of remedies, to fund improved orangutan conservation in the wild, to pay for his long-term care and rehabilitation, to invest in education about orangutans and their conservation. These types of action would start to heal the harm done to Pongo, to nature, and to society. And it would also result in a huge bill for the illegal trader. Building these lawsuits will not be simple, but they could be powerful. They could help to deter future crime and send important messages across society. And we shouldn't just be demanding justice for Pongo. These types of lawsuits could provide justice for species and communities around the world, if we're ready to stand up for them in court.